You feel it, don't you? That quiet ache in your chest when you scroll through your phone at 2 a.m. and realize there's no one to call. That hollow sensation when you walk through a crowd of people, surrounded by voices and laughter, and still feel completely invisible. That weight that settles on your shoulders when you come home to an empty room, close the door behind you, and the silence is so loud it almost hurts. Loneliness. Society has taught you to fear it, to run from it, to treat it like a disease that needs to be cured with relationships, with distractions, with the constant noise of likes and comments and notifications. You've been told that if you're lonely, something is wrong with you, that you're unwanted, that you're failing at the one thing every human is supposed to be good at: connection. But what if everything you've been told about loneliness is a lie? What if loneliness isn't a punishment, but a doorway? What if the very thing you've been avoiding is the only thing that can actually set you free? Let me tell you something that no one else will. The most powerful people in history, the leaders, the thinkers, the creators who changed the world, they didn't build their strength in crowded rooms. They built it in isolation. They didn't find themselves in the middle of a party. They found themselves in the silence that everyone else was too afraid to sit in. Loneliness is not your enemy. It is your teacher. And today, I'm going to show you how to stop running from it and start using it to build a power that no one can ever take away from you. Think about the last time you felt truly alone. What did you do? I'll tell you what most people do. They reach for their phone. They open Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. They drown out the silence with endless scrolling. They text someone, anyone, just to feel the small relief of a notification, lighting up their screen. They fill the void with food, with Netflix, with anything that keeps them from sitting in the quiet. And that's exactly why they stay weak. Because when you numb loneliness, you also numb yourself. When you run from the silence, you run from the only place where real self-awareness is born. And when you avoid being alone with your own mind, you hand over your power to everyone and everything around you. Here's the truth that changed my life. Loneliness is not a sign that you're missing something. It is a sign that you are ready for something more. It is the uncomfortable space between who you are and who you're meant to become. And the people who learn to sit in that space, not escape it, are the ones who emerge with clarity, with purpose, with a sense of self so solid that no amount of rejection or isolation can ever shake it. Let me ask you something. Do you actually know who you are when no one is watching? Do you know what you truly believe when there's no one to impress? Do you know what you want when there's no one to validate it? Most people can't answer these questions, and that's not their fault. They've spent their entire lives defining themselves through other people. Their identity is built on the way their friends see them, the way their family treats them, the way strangers perceive them online. Take all of that away, and there's nothing left. Just an empty shell that doesn't know how to exist without external approval. But you don't have to be one of them. Loneliness gives you something that no relationship ever can. It gives you the opportunity to meet yourself, not the version of you that performs for others, not the version that laughs at jokes you don't find funny, agrees with opinions you don't share, chases goals you don't actually care about, but the real you, the one buried beneath years of people-pleasing and societal conditioning. And yes, that meeting will be uncomfortable. Because when you strip away all the distractions, you're forced to confront the parts of yourself you've been ignoring, the insecurities you've been masking, the dreams you've been abandoning, the truth you've been running from. But here's what happens on the other side of that discomfort. You stop needing people to validate you. You stop changing yourself to fit into rooms you don't even want to be in. You stop chasing relationships that drain you, friendships that use you, attention that leaves you emptier than before. Because you've built something that no one can take away. A relationship with yourself that is stronger than any external connection. That is power, real power. Let me take you deeper. Have you ever noticed that the people who are most afraid of being alone are also the ones who make the worst decisions in relationships? They stay with partners who disrespect them. They tolerate friendships that hold them back. They say yes to things they should say no to, all because the thought of being alone terrifies them more than the thought of being mistreated. But the person who has learned to be alone, the person who has sat in the silence and built a foundation within themselves, that person walks into every room with a quiet confidence that cannot be faked. That person doesn't beg for attention. That person doesn't compromise their values just to be liked. That person doesn't need anyone to complete them because they are already whole. And here's the paradox that most people never discover. When you stop needing people, that's exactly when people are drawn to you. When you stop chasing connection, connection starts chasing you. Because people can sense wholeness. They can sense someone who doesn't need them to fill a void, and that kind of energy is magnetic. So how do you actually do this? How do you stop running from loneliness and start using it as fuel? It starts with something simple, but terrifying. You have to put the phone down. You have to turn off the distractions. You have to sit in the silence without reaching for anything to numb it. And I'm not talking about 5 minutes. I'm talking about hours. I'm talking about evenings where you have no plans, no notifications, no background noise, just you and your own mind. At first, it will feel unbearable. Your brain will scream for stimulation. You'll feel restless, anxious, like you need to do something, anything, to escape. That's the addiction. That's the dependency you've built. And like any addiction, the only way through it is to sit in the discomfort until it loses its power over you, and then something shifts. In the silence, you'll start to hear things you've been drowning out. Your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own voice. You'll begin to notice patterns, the situations that drain you, the people who don't align with you, the paths you've been walking that were never yours to begin with. You'll start to see clearly what you actually want, not what you've been told to want, and slowly, painfully, beautifully, you'll begin to build. You'll build discipline because there's no one around to hold you accountable but yourself. You'll build resilience because you're learning to stand on your own 2 feet. You'll build clarity because you're no longer drowning in the noise of everyone else's opinions. You'll build purpose because you finally have the space to ask yourself what truly matters. This is the work that no one sees. This is the transformation that happens behind closed doors. And this is what separates the people who are merely existing from the people who are truly alive. Let me be honest with you. This path is not easy. There will be nights when the loneliness feels like it's crushing you. There will be moments when you question everything. There will be days when you wonder if it's even worth it. When you see other people surrounded by friends and partners and wonder why you chose this harder road. But here's what I need you to remember. The loneliness you feel right now is temporary. But the strength you build by facing it, that is permanent. Every hour you spend in solitude, every distraction you resist, every uncomfortable emotion you allow yourself to feel, it's all being deposited into a bank account of inner power that no one can ever touch. And one day, sooner than you think, you'll look around and realize something has changed. You'll walk into a room and feel completely at ease, whether you're the center of attention or standing alone in the corner. You'll lose a relationship and feel sad, but not shattered. You'll face rejection and feel disappointed, but not destroyed. Because your foundation is no longer built on anything outside of you. It's built on the bedrock of who you are. That is the gift of loneliness. It forces you to become someone who doesn't need to be saved. It forces you to become the one who saves themselves. So the next time you feel that ache in your chest, don't reach for your phone. Don't numb it. Don't run. Sit with it. Let it speak to you. Ask yourself what it's trying to teach you, because inside that discomfort is everything you've been searching for: clarity, strength, freedom, and a version of yourself that you've never met before. Most people will spend their entire lives running from loneliness. They'll fill their days with noise, their nights with distractions, their lives with people who don't truly see them, and they'll die without ever knowing who they were when no one was watching. But you have a choice. You can keep running. Or you can turn around, face the silence, and let it forge you into something unbreakable. The path is yours to choose. But if you're ready to stop running, then stay here. Stay in the silence. Because it's only in the silence that you'll finally hear the voice that's been calling to you your whole life, your own. If this video spoke to you, then take the first step. Subscribe to Silence Ascent and join the ones who choose to grow in the silence. And if you're ready to go deeper, drop a comment below. I read every single one.